watch somebody's story where you don't agree with anything the character is doing, and you may even call them crazy, but one thing that Into the Wild is going to do is it's going to give you a brand new perspective on life, and it's going to take you on a journey. Into the Wild is based on a true story of Christopher McCandless, who after graduating Emory University decided to cash in his law school fund, travel across North America, and hitchhike to Alaska. Sounds crazy, right? You're looking at someone who has no real training or experience when it comes to the wildlife, who has a handful of books that talk about survival, what wild plants you can eat, and what Sean Penn does as a director is he draws really close to the inspiration, which is from the book, and when I tell you it's neck and neck as far as comparisons and what's real, what's not, it's impressive, and I think by the time you see this movie and you finish it, you'll be impressed. When this story was starting off, the first 30 to 45 minutes, I was just shaking my head because I was like, why would somebody who's graduating from Emory, has good grades, has a bright future ahead of them, want to just throw their life away and disappear into the wildlife? I'm like, this makes no sense, right? And then perspective starts to kick in and you start to understand Chris's mindset a little bit more, whether you agree with him or you don't agree with him. He views himself as a loner. He's trying to get rid of all the material things that he knew before. You start to understand the relationship between him and his family, the backstory of his parents' marriage, and then you start to see how he's trying to become 100% one with himself and with nature, and you're like, okay, I get it now. I don't agree, but I feel where you're coming from. So in the book, everything is tracked down from Chris's encounters with other people, and in the film, it's kind of done in a similar way. Not only do we see him log everything in real time, but we get to see people give him shelter, give him food, give him clothes, and for the most part, everybody is supportive of what they're doing, even if they're skeptical. We eventually get to a point where Chris renames himself, and he feels validated in his actions and his lifestyle, and everything becomes worth it when he meets this old man named Ron, who ends up becoming like a grandfather to him that he never had. This film is reflective, regretful, and shows us sometimes we need help from family and friends, and sometimes you gotta tap into the kindness of strangers. I was a fan of Emile Hirsch in the movie Alpha Dog, but this is the film that really showcases how talented he is because he 100% had to carry this movie, and between his acting performance and Sean Penn's direction, when you get to the final moments in this film by simply just an uneducated experience of the wildlife and just bad decisions is what really will make you sit down and think about this movie when it ends. This is solid. Let me know if you've seen this movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. I'm Kevin at the Real For Real Podcast. Give your boy a like and a follow. Till next time.